Well, it's a beautiful day, but I just feel like I'm being smothered. I don't know why. Came home last night and the races were canceled. That kind of set me off. You know, I know that the weather, I don't think it was the weather that caused the races to be canceled. It was more the track, right? It was -1, rained all day, snow was coming, and then it was going to flash freeze. And then I talked to Harry Tay. He said, no, the weather was fine up here. He said, Harry lives in Milton. He said, I get down on the highway, and he said it was sheer ice the whole way back to Milton. So I guess it was probably safer that the races were canceled. You know what? I'm going to turn this into my opening video because I don't like the other one I did. Kids were annoying me. They were driving me crazy. Addie in particular just felt the need to she just bored. She was bored today. Woke up today early for whatever reason, and now at least they're all happy. They went to that Dogman movie they wanted to go see.
They're all happy?
No, Ava was not happy about going to Dogman, but Ava and Ollie were, or Addie and Ollie were. So at least there's an hour and a half reprieve from Addie's war battle today. You know, this time of year, it almost like you're fighting someone in the dark, right? You have we're trying to get the stake payments all lined up, the ones that we want our horses into, sent out, and be objective about it. And for those of you wondering, Amy had a good question. The other one, she said, as far as billing, we send the things out, you know, but when is it locked in? Well, it's not technically locked in until February 15th, and we can make changes up until about the 14th, up until Valentine's Day. Jim will allow us to make changes. They're very efficient in that regard. So the lists that will be sent out, and you'll be able to view them on Joanne Staking. That's where Jim Inglis has them up on there. So for those of you that have been our clients for a while, you'll know how to get on to the Joanne Staking. If you don't know, I'll have Kelly. Actually, you know what? Kelly should send out a link telling everybody how to get on there and look at what stakes their horses are in. Anyway, year over year, I think we get better at it. And this year again, it feels like we're in the right place, but you can never really tell. You know, the frustrating part about staking horses is the vast majority of those stakes we don't use, right? We want them all to go to the Breeders' Crown. This year, I think we paid 4 in. And last year, we had 3 in, but they were fringe horses. As far as the Breeders' Crown goes, as far as horses, they were very good horses. So you have the staking going on, right? You have the start of the year. The most frustrating part of everything right now is not being able to get our horses in. A horse like Vehement, I think Johnny said, had raced 8 times since the end of September. That's just unacceptable. And I see it happening with a few horses right now. You know, we had talked about what we may do if we have a horse that looks like they can do, and maybe we'll ship them back, race them here, send Never Lose Felix to Pennsylvania because he's a Pennsylvania bred. The non-winners of 1, and even in some cases the non-winners of 2, we weren't getting in because it's PA owned or bred in those lower classes. Well, Vehement, who else didn't get in lately? All those horses that aren't getting in, they're not PA owner bred, so they can't race in the Meadows. In Ohio, we can only have 1 or 2 in a class. Maybe there wasn't enough classes, which is shocking for Northfield. They have 16 races.
Oh, I don't get that.
And then Miami Valley's tough, right? So we're trying. We have the right horses. I just can't seem to fit them in the right place, and it's incredibly frustrating for me every day. And then factor in last week. You know, we almost had to turn the page on last week. Tonight, perfect example. 2 horses in, 2 10 holes. Last night we had some good draws. They canceled the races. The other day at the Meadows we had 2 in. They both threw the outside. 7 in a 7-horse field, 8 in an 8-horse field. A couple of 8 holes at Northfield Park. We have an 8 hole this week coming up. Now the horses are appearing. They do appear to be starting to draw a little bit better. But man, what a tough run over the last week. I know it's racing. There's nothing more you can do about it. You just have to buckle down and push through. But man, a little reprieve from the torturous positions would certainly help. This week, as I said, was tough. We did have some high points this week. I was disappointed. Mounds for All was second, but a bit of a flat mile. I'd expect more from him. But with the weather, again, I planned on going out and training him hard today. Minus 20 with the wind chill today. So I couldn't. Last thing I want to do is go out and train Drebin and Mounds for All hard, only to find out they bled a little bit, right? Or had some irritation in their throat because of it, because of the cold weather, and it's supposed to warm up next week. So you're just beating your head against the wall going into next week's races.
It's gonna be a mess.
Oh, for sure.
It's up to 16 next Thursday.
Are you serious? In Ohio or here or both?
I know, I don't know. I didn't.
Plus 16.
Yeah, and then right back down.
Oh. That's not good. Just seems like the winter just can't make up its mind. Are you coming? Are you going? Are you coming? Are you going? Very weird winter. Very weird. Some viciously cold days and then some mild days. And then usually Ontario and Ohio, at least where we're at, northeastern Ohio, similar temperatures. Not today, they're not. It's minus 10 before the wind, and it's the track fell apart, Jason told me, for the last set today. He said they just went under the wire, and the far turn, in the last turn, the far turn was starting to get mucky in the last set. I was happy, though. He got my message. They did train Rosetta today with the hobbles on. Jason said she was very, very strong. Tyler went with her. Because Tyler, and it was important, because Tyler had trained her without the hobbles, trained them with. I said, what did he say? He said she was perfect. Great. That, a huge relief off my shoulders. I'm not going to go to the Meadows now on Wednesday. I hope Ronnie ran. I'll message Ronnie, but hopefully Ronnie can stay and drive Rosetta. And then I can stay and focus on Century Legion and her horses at Northfield Park. So, also, this time of year, you know, I had told everybody the way that Rock Shining Star had raced, we gave him a week off. The very next week, we raced Save America, and he raced poorly. Took his blood, and I had told everybody, if his blood's bad, he's going out in the field. If his blood's good, we'll just race him. If it's so-so, we'll just patch him up and away we go. Well, it was bad enough where it was going to be 10 days, and this was the problem, was the liver. His liver count was 20 points higher than it should be. That's a tough level to move. So it was going to take a week or 10 days to get him right. And if we're going to give him a week or 10 days, it was going to take 10 days to 2 weeks, not a week. If it was going to take the better part of 2 weeks to get him right, why not just give him 3 in the field? So that's what we did with Save America. He's gone out to the field for a little bit. So we kind of have this fluidity in the barn when there's horses going out, there's some coming in, there's horses qualifying. We'll talk about the qualifiers. They were great on Friday, according to James anyway. I would like to see some sort of uniformity, right? Some sort of where the horses are ready right now. Okay, so we have 5 ready. Oh, they all got in this week. Oh, they all drew good this week. Now, obviously, I'm asking for something that's impossible, but man, it's been a roller coaster of a week. So we had Save America did not race good on Monday or on Sunday afternoon, and you saw that I get set back with time is on my side. That was my bad. I did. I hit Kurt. That was my bad. And Greatest Ending got shuffled way back and really never had an opportunity to do much good after that. So it wasn't the Sunday that we wanted by any stretch of the imagination. Then we come out on Monday. JK Victory had a lot of promise. I thought he'd be good on it is the drop off and pickup lane. Relax. That's what it is. That's why there's a stop sign there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, stop. There's a stop sign there.
It says stop. It doesn't say.
But why would it say no? This is a pickup lane. No, it's not. The fire lane is in front of. Yeah, that's the fire portion. Look, watch me drive by it. Look, bye bye. Fire lane or pickup lane. So JK Victory, it was odd because Kane got off the bike and had said, this isn't the first horse I've seen this happen to. I don't think this horse is going to get around Miami Valley. Now, it sounds odd because you say to yourself, well, he gets around the Meadows, okay. He got around Dayton rather well, actually, his first start. What's the difference? And Kane said, well, there's a big difference. 1, the track's hard. 2, this is a much flatter track than Dayton. Well, I'll defer to him. He races there a lot. We'll see. If that's the case with JK Victory. Jason said he trained great at Northfield, Dr. Latessa went over him, said he couldn't really find anything that was bothering him. His feet seemed good. So you know what? We're going to train him up real good this week at Northfield Park, and then we're going to make a decision on JK Victory. Is it that he doesn't like Miami Valley, which would suck because they go for so much money? It'd be a frustrating turn of events, but if it is, fine. We'll race him at Northfield and the Meadows. When Scioto opens, we'll try to focus on Scioto. And if he doesn't happen to get over Scioto, fine. He can go right back where he was in Indiana. So that's the plan with JK Victory. This coming week, we do have Mounds for All and Drebin tomorrow also. We have a shoeing change, small shoeing change coming for Mounds for All. Egg bars came off him behind, full swedges went on. And also a minor bridle change for Mounds for All also. Hood with cups on him. Also, now you guys saw Rosetta make a break late in the stretch. We just talked at the outset of the video about how Rosetta rolled off stride. We put the hobbles on her. She trained good. She's in to go with the hobbles on. First time ever with the hobbles on. Well, no. Today was the first time ever with the hobbles on for Rosetta. And by all accounts, they said she was good. What are you munching? Oh, you can pop. How's the popcorn? Better than B&B?
Is everyone listening to me chew it? Probably.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think anybody noticed. I didn't really notice. Did you going out of your way now to close your mouth when you're eating? I see. Okay. Tenacious Hanover, I thought, raced really well. He's back in now. He's got the rail. Hopefully he can set the trend for the rest of the week. Good draws. Rosetta drove pretty good in the Meadows. Century Legion drew inside. I think the only horse that drew poorly this week was what Trevino draw? 3. There's another horse, trouble getting him in. And Watch Your Mouth drew 2. So yeah, hopefully it sets the table for a good rest of the week. But I thought he raced pretty good. He was up a class and looked pretty good in his last outing. Now Wednesday, Looks Like Money. Did I get a little grease? Yeah, I got a little grease with Looks Like Money. He probably should have been a winner. Ended up third, beat ahead, but Ronnie did grab me a couple of times down the lane. I can't complain. Right? I give a little, I take a little. That's the way it is. Memory and Imagination, again, outside draw with him. He actually raced pretty good also. They're up the quarter in 29 seconds, and I'm sitting, 9-10 lengths off the lead? Not a great feeling. You know, you're pretty much pooched right there. But he raced good, finished up his mile strong. Hopefully he's back in to go Thursday. Yo Mister raced pretty good in Miami Valley. I believe he was 4th, if I'm not mistaken. And then Century Legion raced pretty good in Northfield Park also. Patrick the Piranha drew good also. He's in to go Wednesday with the 2 or 3 hole, I think. But he's in now. I'm interested to see how he is. The 8 hole, I took him back. He actually raced really good on the end of it. I'm interested to see, do I see more progression from him this week? That's what I'd like to see from him. And then Laggy, here's a horse that I thought she was okay. Drew her blood. It was a mess. Her liver was up. Her white count was up. Her differential was flipped. There's a lot of things going on there, and it's going to take a good week or two to get her screwed around straight. And she actually did race good, all things aside. I thought she raced really well, for being off 15 days, a horse going half in 58 or 59 in front of her. I thought she raced decent for her. You factor in that blood, and it was actually a hell of a mile. Spitfire Overseas, it was so good to see him get back in the swing of things for us at the Meadows. I know this certainly wasn't an open trot, let's say a little watered down group, but still he has had his issues over the last little while. Looked bumpy, looked rough, looked infinitely better the other day. Made some shoeing changes on him, but what I liked about him, he felt better. When he made the break on the front end, that was just pure power. He was out of gear the whole way, and I was trying my best to hold him together. He rolled off in the last turn, but he was strong, but bumpy. The other day, just as strong. But what I saw was his confidence rise. Even when I scored him down, he was really grabby. I let him walk for a bit, put him up near the gate. Now he's a weird bugger in the sense that he can trot a third quarter in 26 and a piece. That same stretch of highway, so to speak, as they say go in. But he can't for the life of him get out of the gate super quick. 28 and 3 was all he could muster, but I wasn't really in a rush. He could park to the 3/8. I had to let Dave go, and it worked out well. I would like to see him. Now, there has been times where he's get out of the gate good, so hopefully he'll get back to that. I don't think you're going to see any blinding speed from Spitfire Overseas off the car, but you're going to see him. I think he can settle into that 27-2, 27-3, where it sounds fast, but that's all the way to the quarter to get him there. You're not going to see him snap over in front of everybody. He just doesn't have that pop off the car. But he's certainly got lots of pop throughout the mile. Texong Soprano was our next starter, and leading up to right now, our latest starter. So Spitfire winner and come right out with Texong Soprano last night. Really, really happy for Megan, for Scotty. Scotty's major owner, I think, in that horse. And the horse just looked good, raced good. Really, really pleased with the way he's turned things around since having a bit of a slow start back. Very similar to Spitfire. Do we see the same trend start with him now? I hope so. Got all the way here last night. Was I a little disappointed? Sure I was. Sure I was a little disappointed. Races were canceled just after I got to Guelph last night, but as I said from the outset, it was the flash freeze that was coming, not necessarily the weather last night, but moreover the track in that weather with that flash freeze. The biggest problem of all last week, and I didn't realize it until I spoke to Harry, was they still have training days. We talked about this during the pandemic. When we were racing, people still had to race their horses, so they allowed them to come in on Wednesday. They would space everybody out, let them train on Wednesday, let them train on Saturday. You had to sign up to come in. You couldn't just show up like you did before. Before, you just show up with 10 horses, go out and train them all and leave. And that was Monday through Saturday. You can't do that anymore. They only train on Wednesdays and Saturdays at Mohawk. You have to sign up to do it. Dominic and Harry had 4 horses, 5, 6 horses ready to go this week. Dom took 2 to train before the qualifiers. Harry has had 4 horses ready to go in 2.5 in the race bike and was not able to get them to the track Wednesday, and then again they canceled this morning's training. Rose Run AJ, Rose Run Alexandra, Manhattan Money, and I Don't Play Nice were all slated to go in 2.5 in the race bike, and none of those 4 were able to go to the racetrack. Now, I was wondering why Harry kept saying 216, because that's what he told me last time. 216. That's where he's going with them. I believe. At the firm. I believe Harry.
Quite a bit faster.
I believe that Harry thinks in the jog cart 216 is a pretty good mile on the race bike. No, I think he thinks it's a lot more, because when he says I'm going to go in 2.5, what he means they're ready to go in 2.5 easily. So if he's telling me that 16 in the race bike at first line right now with the track the way it is equivalent to 2.5 in the race bike at Mohawk. Yeah, that's what he's going with them. He said they're all ready to go in 2.5 in the bike at Mohawk.
Oh.
Yeah. So hopefully this Wednesday we can get them over there and get them trained. Now tonight, the tail end of our bad draws, except for I guess Irresistible Sun drew the outside tomorrow. 7 horse in a 7 horse field. Time drew the 6 hole, but that was a handicap. And then Early Play drew the 8 hole on Tuesday. But aside from that, 2 10 holes tonight, and then we have the 2 tomorrow. I'm really, really excited to race Irresistible Sun and Time Is On My Side. I don't want to have Time Is On My Side racing on a half-mile track full time. I want to stretch him out, and I'm torn when it comes to where we're going to enter Time and what stakes we're going to put him in. James, he threw me a complete curveball yesterday, and he said Arson was very good qualifying. He felt really, really strong. I'd like to go back once more with him. He said, you're paying him into the graduate, right? I said, no, I wasn't gonna. You want to pay them into the graduate? And he said, yeah, I think you absolutely should. He said, Coach Stefanos a nice horse. He said, your 2 horse a nice horse, but I mean, that's who I won the Breeders' Crown with. And I'm not saying that either of those 2 are better than him, but they're in the same neighborhood, I think, aren't they? And I don't really know. I thought Coach Stefanos won in 47 a couple of times, come 25 and 4. I don't believe they're maybe in that competition level, but
Scott would know.
Scott would know, yeah, I suppose so. But James said, yeah, I would definitely. He said, aside from Captain Albano coming back, I don't think there's a ton there. And he said, I think you should. I think you should have them in the graduate. So he threw me a little bit of a curveball. I want to talk to Rob and John and definitely Randy, Steve, a number of the people we've been talking to about the staking, see what their thoughts are. But a little bit of a curveball from James. But at the same time, I am looking to race Time and Arson in the best places we can. And I thought the Meadows was a great fit for Time. Then the Open didn't fill. Now he's back at Northfield. I think this will be his last start at Northfield. We either go to Miami Valley or we'll head back to the Meadows with him. But I do want to make sure that we don't have him in a spot where he's got 25, 23 starts on his card come come November either. I'd like to space it so he's got 16, 17, 18 starts. He's already got 4 this year. So we're just barely out of January, right? No, he's got 2 this year. Sorry, he's got 4 since he came back. So that was that's what went on this week for the most part. Next week, as I said, I am excited about Irresistible Sun and Time is on my side on Sunday. Monday, Mounts for All, Drebin, Troysa. I think this will be Troysa's last start in Ontario. We're going to bring him over to the stateside. They're not going to let him in the Nomores of 2 here, and I'm not racing a horse with 12,000 life in the Nomores of 2,500 last 6. I don't know who's in that class on Monday, but I would guess there's some serious back class horses that are just dropping down a bit. To me, it seems unfair to race a horse that doesn't have a lot of experience, money, wins at all against horses that in some cases that have. So we'll probably move him over. My question to Harry was, Harry and I were talking, and I said, listen, I know you hate pullers. Harry's a little older, a little arthritis, he doesn't want to be out there pulling and lugging on horses. Then I told him, I said, I'm planning to send Grand Slam Deal over to, now you guys are going to see, we're going to talk about this in a minute, you guys are going to see Grand Slam Dio train on Tuesday. But she's not doing her best work in the last turn on a half-mile track. She'll never race on a half-mile track. She's Kentucky and New Jersey eligible, so there's no real need for her to be training down at Northfield Park. But she's plenty strong in the straightaways and does her work really, really well. What's that one?
That's fine.
Oh, I see. Excuse me. So, oh, is it really? So when it comes to Grand Slam Dio, I think she may be suited better for Mohawk. I just want to make sure that Harry and Dominic or Harry, either one is fine with me. We're gonna have to move some horses around again here in the next month, which is fine. Troysa will have to leave, and I believe that stall could be taken up with Grand Slam Dio. As I said to Harry, she is polite jogging. I don't have a problem with her, but she can hook on once in a while. If you're okay with having her over here, I think you'll get along very, very well with this filly, and I think he will. So that's my plan right now. It's tentative. It's pending, but that's my plan with Grand Slam Dio. So in regards to those videos on Tuesday, I got to reach out to Curtis. Amy and I have decided that it's going to be Tuesday, back Friday if we can, weather permitting. The weather does look good on Tuesday at Northfield Park. We would like to bring you the sets, which we're going to work on today, and I would also like to bring you the 3-year-olds that we have getting ready to go. I think it'll be interesting. I think the horses are training well, and I think you'll be excited to see them go. Everybody's always asking about those, and I would like to get them in if I could. So, I've been happy with the way the babies are going. Obviously, the horses that we're training today, I got great reviews from Jason. No real concerns. He said that Megan was acting up a little bit, but she's second day with that bit on. I knew that it wouldn't be as easy as everybody thought it would be. We put a little more severe check bit on her. Now, this is the Uncle Peter coming out in her. You're going to see it in Bobby. You're going to see it in, you've already seen it in Bobby. You're going to see it in Bobby.
How is she?
They said she was good. I don't think there's any issues with her. The only one that Jason talked about was Megan acting up, but he said she was just a little spicy. And I said, you're going to see that. You're going to see that from the Uncle Peters, especially in January. January's a tough month for the Uncle Peter breed, and I think Megan will be just fine as we get her squared away and under control.
She's nice on the track, though.
She is. Well, she just gets a little excited. No other concerns. We did have the Curbs crowd. I don't think we'll be going Tuesday with them. If everything looks good, we'll be going Friday. So you're not going to see Cherry's Girl. You're not going to see Steady Volo train on Tuesday. That's just the way it is. Who else do we do? Castrations won't be going either. That was Sterling Hanover won't be going. ACDC won't be going. Who's the other one? Hanger 1 won't be going. So there's 5 scratches that I know of for next Tuesday. But everything is going according to plan. Happy with the staking we have put out. I'm happy to get that weight off my shoulders. Happy with the way the babies are training down. Extremely disappointed with the way we're getting our horses in to go right now. And obviously on a more front and center level. I'm disappointed with the draws last week, but that's racing. There's nothing you can do about that. But very disappointed with the lack of consistency in which we can get our horses in right now. I hope that changes in the very near future. Happy with the qualifiers the other day. We had high hopes. I don't know what James must have been extremely happy when he got back from Hawaii, because high hopes. He said, I like that filly. She qualified well. Okay. Nobody's ever said they liked high hopes. We tolerated her. I liked her. I shouldn't say that. I liked her, but I didn't know where her ceiling was. And James seemed to think after one more qualifier that she could race in a maiden at Mohawk, which is surprising, but makes me happy. Who else was in the qualifiers? Oh, Hill No was very good for Danny. I was really, really happy with her. Who else do we have? Let me put your phone away for a second and we can work on it. We also had Arson was awesome. James said was very, very good. And then Dancing by Myself. I thought I'd said in the other video I did that, you know, a typical horse slipping. Looked like he was climbing all over Bluebird Tuxedo Hill, who, by the way, of all the horses I saw today, the best looking horse. Cindy has done a tremendous job with Bluebird Tuxedo Hill because he looks good. Now, the horse literally looks good. Very, very impressed with what I've seen from Bluebird Tuxedo Hill today. It looked like in the qualifier, Bluebird was sitting back. He'd only been in 2.6 in his life. So he was going a decent mile. And Dancing by Myself went to go out around him. It looked like he was just going to inhale him and drive away. And he just hung out there. I got out of gear once or twice, hung out there, and Bluebird Tuxedo Hill beat him. So that's indicative of a horse that's slipping. We have those open-toed shoes on him up front. And then I find out today he lost a shoe getting into the last turn, Dancing by Myself in his qualifier the other day. So pretty good qualifier, really, overall. His left hind shoe. Why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, I forgot who that was.
Yeah, Dancing by Myself. So everybody was happy with the way the horses qualified. I'm eager to see them come forward. The horses qualifying in Ohio have been good. Century Legion was good the other day. There are some horses that are on our radar that may be leaving in the near future. You guys know that, but that comes with the territory. So overall, happy with the barn. I think I'll be much happier when we get Rock and Save America back going full bore. But I am happy with the way looks like Money raced the other day and looked the other day. He looked great. Spitfire Overseas looked great the other day also. So a little ebb and flow going on with the barn right now. But I want to see more consistency with our entries, getting our horses in to go, and some good posts would be great. And I think if we can do both of those things, we're going to have a much better week ahead at the stable. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I hope if you guys have any questions regarding staking, racing, training, anything, drop me a line. Every week I seem to miss a horse or two. If I do, feel free to drop me a line about that too. One of these days I'll get it right. Take care. Have a great rest of your Saturday. I will talk to you all very soon.